Hi everyone, this is Barb from Lost and Floss, reporting to you from Wisconsin's Winter Wonderland. Pardon the halo, makes me look like an angel. But it's kind of it's not kind of, it's a snowy, gloomy, sunless day. Plus it's getting to be late in the afternoon. And the lighting in this room is not good. So you're just going to have to put up with the halo. Pretend like it doesn't exist, right? Happy 2024. Woohoo! This is January 9th, 2020 and 20 and 24. 2020, 24. It just doesn't roll off my tongue. Well, nothing does lately. As you can probably tell by my voice, I'm recovered from a bad cold I had right after Christmas. But I'm already getting into chit chat, right? So basically, this is a channel primarily about cross stitch. You will also find a little bit of wool applique and just a pinch of quilting. Not very much. I aspire to get into that further, and maybe that'll be one of my goals for 2024. Anyways, I'd like to show you all the finishes that I had last year in 2023. And it's always quite an undertaking, like trying to get everything pulled out and find things and determine what I've finished in 2023 versus another year. I can't say I have it perfect, so don't grade me on it. But my rule is it might have been finished stitching 5 years ago, but if I turned it into an item I can display in 2023, it will be included in this video. So without further ado, let's just jump in. I was going to go through the year, but I think I'll just go through what's kind of on my in front of me on the bed, which is why I'm doing it here. It gives me a lot of surface. So the very first one I'm going to show you is Lady Liberty Pinky by Blackbird's Design. And this is this little drum. I love this one with the stars. The stars is where it connects up. And the alphabet, and I just used a star motif around the bottom, and then just a little bit of it's not even cording, it's twine that goes around. But love this one. I stitched it on 36 count Liberty Gathering Gray by R&R, and I think I used all the called for colors other than subbing out Oscar, Weeks Oscar for the vines, and Grits for the cattail. So very happy to have this one complete. And I've gone to this is going to be helpful going forward, kind of transition, because so many of the things this last year I didn't start using this, but I will have a sheet like that for each finish, and then I'm a little bit behind in getting pictures taken of the finish, but I will then put a photo right here so I can refer to that. So I love that one. I guess we're going patriotic for a while here. The next one is Brenda Gervais Liberty House. And I have the chart right here. And this one I stitched on 36 count Dapple by Picture This Plus. And I finished stitching it on Memorial Day. I used Anchor 2 for the white, and I did it 2/2 to make it stand out a little bit more. And also stitched the berries 2/2. but I had this simple frame in my stash that fit very well, and I just put the frame driver things on the back, and it's a nice inexpensive finish. The Donna called Flag of Liberty pillow, and I stitched it on 36 count R&R Plum Street blend. And I'll show you the chart without the... And I omitted the words from the bottom and just did it as a simple pin pillow. Putting the star around it, the red, and then I have kind of like a chambray print and just a little rickrack around the outside. But I think that one's really cute. A design. I don't know if I have a sheet for it. I don't think I do. But this is from the patriotic book. I don't even know what it is. I should start really putting my stickers on the back of these pieces too. The ones that are on the wall. It would be easier to have it come to mind, but I'm thinking Let Freedom Ring, but I don't think that's right. The house, I know I switched up the colors because mine originally was a pink house, and I didn't want a pink house. So I ended up switching it out for a white, fun, happy accident. The chart for the pin keep is right in line with the house, so I really thought it was all on the chart. So I ended up stitching this, and then because I had this little extra piece, I turned it into like a sleeve that can go over this pillow. So I do want to do some, I think the color of the background on the pillow lends itself to something more patriotic and, maybe even a Christmas sleeve. And it's an easy finish, so I hope to do Love Heart. It's a freebie. The World in Stitches by Colleen Carrington. And I used a scrap of pink linen, and the floss was Buckeye Scarlet. And I just had this cheap white frame and did a little twine on the outside. It's got something on it. There we go. For a freebie and a quick finish, I think it's cute. From Buttermilk Basin, Hearts Pillows. I'm getting glare on that. How's that? So these I thought were really cute. I had fun doing this. Here's the blackbird basket. And then this heart. I love this one with the plaid. And this is another one of my favorite ones. The blackbird on a thread spool. And these were fun because they came with the backing fabric, the fabrics, and everything. I think you might have had to supply your own buttons, so that was about the only thing. Another freebie chart I did for Valentine's Day was Love Never Fails. It's from the Primitive Hair and was on her 2014 blog post. I stitched it on 30 count vintage country mocha using Gentle Arts Schoolhouse Red. I used my own lettering for the current year and also added some additional hearts to fill in the space. So that one I think is really cute. I love this calico on the back. Freebie from Jeanette Douglas. It was Valentine Mini Bouquet 2. And I stitched this on 30 count vintage country mocha. I omitted the white border around the outside, but this is really one of my favorites. I am so happy I stitched this and love the simple finish with that same calico again. And then this one I don't have, but I'll just show you a picture. I used it for my exchange gift last year for our stitch group. And this was another freebie. This is a picture of my finished one. I guess I cropped it off a little bit. But it was an age tra I fieri cor e betacor, and I did it on a scrap of vintage Lakeside. This one was probably one of my favorite all-time finishes, if I can find it. Here it is. This is The Rabbit and the Rose by Brenda Gervais. I stitched it on 36 count Lakeside pecan butter. And I love this finish. The vintage seam binding. And then on the back to cover where I stuffed it, I did a replica of the flower in wool. That matches the flower on the front. So I just very, very happy with this one. One of my favorite all-time stitches. And I use Whisper for the tail. I might have switched out a couple of the flower colors. Just, I think they were DMC. And I ended up using DMC 3328 and 760 for the flowers. But that will stay as one of my favorites. Blue silvery type fabric, and I went through all sorts of different attempts to get the snowflakes to show up. So these are the three. This one's windy. And this one's snowy, which matches today. And this one is winter. So, as I mentioned, I tried so many different colors of, whites and silvers and blues. Kind of had a turquoisey color I was going to leave. And then one day I thought, I'm just going to try painting walnut crystals around the stitching. And at this point I think I still had the other colors that I had tried in there. And so I just made a very thin solution of walnut crystals and painted around what I already had, and then probably restitched some of the white parts. And now these are some of my favorite finishes. You would have never known that I was ready to give up on these. So very happy to have them in my stash of stuff that I leave out now. I think I stitched them 2/2 on, I think it was Silver Lugana. And yeah, I finished stitching them at the end of March last year, so it's nice to have them now for the full winter. Easter Parade by Blackbird Design was another one that when I saw it, I knew I had to stitch it. And Margot was nice enough to loan me her chart. I stitched this 1/2 on 36 count. I think it was a piece of Lakeside that I had left over, but I really can't exactly identify the colors. And I subbed out calomel because that didn't show. I used raspberry parfait, brandy, grasshopper, antique rose, chive, cider mill brown, antique yellow Oscar. So I can't remember what were the called for and what were the colors that I just chose. I stitched Grandma's Quilt by Little House Needleworks. A piece of 30 Portobello colored linen. This is from Farmhouse Christmas, and it's a 30 count, so I stitched 2 over 2, and I think I used pretty much the called for colors. And this was the one, except for I have Anchor White. Leanne had kitted this up, and so I finally got around to stitching it in 2023. So that was kind of a nice feeling to have that done. And then, let's see. Oh yeah, I call this my uneven pillow because I should have done a better job finishing, but I'm going to just leave it. See how it's really off from side to side. This chart was a freebie from Norway, and I used 30 count Vintage Country Mocha. And, oh, pardon me, the floss I used was Gentle Arts Antique Rose. It just made it into a cute little pillow. To finish out the other Valentine's stuff that I had, I won't be able to identify this. I believe this is a freebie chart, but you'd have to go back in my video from last year if you want more of the details. And this was inspired by Gabrielle, who had done this chart on a strawberry, and I just fell in love with it. And for the topper, I just used some pieces of wool that I cut into hearts, and then a fancy crystal button, and a little floss, and I think that's very, very cute. This is another, this was a design that I got at River's Edge Quilt Shop in Hayward, Wisconsin. So one of their designs, it did not include the frame, but it was a kit for the other things. And just a quick wool applique that was very easy to complete, and I thought the frame was just perfect for this little guy. And then this is the Brenda Gervais. I'm not sure if is it Bloom? I don't know. I think you guys have all seen this one, but just loved it. I love how it turned out. I used the seam tape ruching on the side, and this fabric I thought was just perfect. Picked up the color chart was in a little French book that can't remember who it was on Instagram had stitched this, and I just fell in love with it. I think this was the first piece that I attempted to darken with walnut shells. And a lot of people have asked me to do a tutorial on how I do it. So the next time I have a piece that warrants that sort of a technique, I will record it and then just kind of give you a quick update on how I do things. So I wanted to have like a vintage Valentine feel for this. So I made this little Mod Podge mailbox, and it's not finished all the way through, but I just have this like coming out with some of the other pillows, and I ran off some other vintage little like Valentine note things that I pasted to mat board. And like this one I think is really cute. And then I arranged them all so they're coming out of there with the stitch piece. And this one too, really cute. So I will be putting that out to display my items. My piece this year for Leanne's Legacy was from this book, Winds of Autumn, Blackbird Design. And I knew I had a lot going already, so I decided to do Spell of the Moon. And I had a piece of gray. I don't remember the details on it, but just stitched it pretty much as is and used this cute gingham check for the back. I think it picks up the colors well, and it's just a nice squishy little pillow to put out. Then this wasn't one I stitched, but it was one I finished. This is Plum Street Samplers, My Dear Heart, I think. And this was one Leanne had stitched. But I found this frame and I thought it was perfect. I know I've worked a little bit on straightening out the lines a little bit better, but I really should give it another try. But I think this frame just is perfect for it, and I love having it up in my family room year round. Another thing that I didn't finish stitching this last year, but it was one that I finally put on mat board so that I will be able to display it this year. But it's from the monthly series by Prairie Schooler, and it's the March one. And this one I just love with those daffodil and the sheep. It just cries spring to me, so I will be very happy to have that. Annie B's Threadworks Pears. I had this idea that I wanted to have them 3 different sizes. So I stitched them on 36 count Aztec Red, which will be the smallest, 32 count Lakeside Linens Copper Vintage, and then 28 count Vintage Meadow Rue. So I'll show you the Meadow Rue one first. And I finished these using Vanna's tutorial. Cute little polka dot. And I used a cinnamon stick. I think it's perfect for the stem. And then made some little leaves that I add veining to out of wool. So that's the Vintage Meadow Rue one. This is the Copper Vintage Copper one. Love that. And then I think this one is really my favorite, the Aztec Red one. I think I love the little size of it. So, Annie, you did a great job on these. And I love them because, like, even in Christmas, I left them in the back of my tiered tray. And with the colors, they don't scream really any season. This is Happy Easter from Tiny Modernist. Someone said it reminded them of an Easter bonnet, which it kind of does. But I knew I wanted something like just fun and bright and cheery to go with it. But I love that little stitch. I think I pretty much use the called for colors. I really am not positive on that, but then we have French Country Flower Basket by JBW Designs. I can't even tell you what I stitched this on. I used Emma Pink, Weeks Emma Pink Plus one other color that was a little mystery, but I think it really is a beautiful, I think I'll even put it out now for Valentine's Day. The colors would go with a lot of my other items. So I just have a placeholder lampshade on this one, and I think I forgot to show it to you last episode, but this is that Kathy Bear piece I stitched, and I think I needed to try to find like a rectangular shade. I think that's probably going to be quite a task, but you never know. There was one I saw at Goodwill yesterday, but it was way too big for the lamp, so I didn't even bother measuring it when I got home because I knew it would have been way too big. This was Blackbird design that Leanne had started, and I finished it. I think she used Belle Soie, just the black, and I finished it, and then it was really a bright white, and so I walnut crystalled it. These aren't arranged right, but I have some like just fall stuff sticking out of the top, and I have it weighted with a candle. So it's nice and sturdy. Once I get it all set up, it will be flying around. This was another piece, wool piece I completed, and I don't remember the name of it, but a number of us got this when we were at Farm Girls Cross Stitch Retreat in Amana. The wool shop, is it the Wool and Needle? But just really cute, and I love how the box just swings open. I forgot to put stuff in there this year, but there's always next year, right? And then I finally finished a cup of Christmas cheer Santa mug. It's a freebie from Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting. I stitched on 32 count vintage Sahara by Zweigert. Used call for DMC, but I think I subbed out the cheeks, and I just made it into a flat fold so that I could have it next to like some Santa mug themed items that I have on my counter. But I love this one. It spoke to me right away when I saw the chart, and there's a number of other ones of hers that I'd like to stitch at some point. Another one I don't have a picture of, but I can insert because I used it for my gift exchange for the Midwest, or the Farm Girl Cross Stitch Retreat, was December 25th. Merry Christmas Pinky from Stacy Nash. If I have a picture of my finish, I'll insert it here. Pillows in other places. I think this is called White Christmas, and I finished, oh, it's getting really bright, the little snowflake and little skates, and I'm working on the snowman now, so hopefully I'll get that done. Of Blackbird Designs, All Joys for Thine. I think I stitched this on 40 count vintage Country Mocha, but if you go back in one of the videos towards the end of last year, I'm sure I identify the fabric, and I found this frame. I thought it was perfect for it, and just pinned the piece, and very happy with how it turned out. This is another one that I showed recently, I think in my last video, but it's a little gingerbread ornament that I stitched, and I did stitch the back, so I was very happy that I did. And then I made this little cording and just did it around the top to finish it off and put a little loop on it. But I decided I probably will stitch the companion one. I don't know. I always feel like I need to do, like, stitch everything. Stitch it all, right? This, I think, was another piece from Buttermilk Basin, but just a wool applique snowman that I did. Very cute. And I like that he's not super Christmassy, so he will stay out with my stuff yet. And then this is a Brenda Gervais. I know I identified it on Instagram in the comments, so you could look there if you can't find the actual chart. But I know it's on her website, so you can go look for it there. But this was one that Leanne had started and never finished. She did the first part of the 1/1 words, and I finished it off. I found this beautiful blue backing, which reminds me of something she would have had. And then I just stitched on the little bit of chenille trim. She had gifted me that for Christmas 2019. And so I wanted to use it on something that would have memory and significance. This is another JBW Designs. It's Over the Field We Go. And this is how it looks. But I saw it at Country Sampler in Spring Green, Wisconsin. And they did it on a lighter color. And so I chose Weeks Parchment, 36 count. And I stitched it with Weeks Turkish Red. And this turned into another one of my favorites. I love it. Just used 2 different pieces to outline it. And then for kind of a surprise on the back, bringing in not the monochromatic look at the front, I've got like dog hair everywhere. Our grand dog came to fiber that the linen that I used. I wanted something grungy in the last video where I showed all my finishes. So if you're looking for particulars, you can go there. But this is by Artful Offerings. I think it might just be called December 25th. And I ended up antiquing this twill trim, and I use this as the backing as well. And just kind of looped the trim over the sides, but it just looks old and one of my favorite finishes. I'm really happy to have that done. And then a year ago at Christmas time, I think it was Linda, was so nice to lend me her copy of Wonderful Life Pin Keep Drum because it wasn't out to the public then. So I started mine on 36 count Lakeside Vintage Light Exemplar. And then when I think it came out to the public at market, and so I immediately bought my copy because I thought the house was a killer. And it just took me a little bit of time to get through that alone, but I'm very happy with how it turned out. Other than I think I need to redo my bottom a little bit. And it kind of looks like my pillow has cellulite. I mean, I don't know. I think I would be happier if I redid the bottom. The top is fine. And I ended up getting this from Country Sampler. That's what they kitted theirs up with. But yeah, this part I'm not happy with. So for this year, I kind of camouflaged it. I put greenery in front, so nobody was the wiser. And then I also got 3 Snowy Night. I did the 2006 sewing machine guy. And I did the 2010 skiing guy. And I've just done mine very simple. Oh, I got some extra glue on the back I have to get rid of. I probably said that last time I showed these. I did them on, I think it was 28 count vintage country mocha, 1/1, using the called for colors. With the exception, I think I used a white, and then I just used matte board to stretch them on over a little piece of Warm and Natural, and then same thing for the backing fabric. And then I made my own twine or cording, made a little bow, and then there's an antique bell on there. So I love this finish. They look really cute on the tree. They're not so ginormous, and I've got 4 more started, so I really hope to finish those up. At least the 4 for next year. Then I'd have 11. I currently have 7. So, finish of the year for me. I'm thrilled to have this up on my wall. This is Christmas Garden by Blackbird Design, and it was started by Leanne and finished by myself. And she started it on, I think it was 28 count ivory, so it was stitched 2/2, and she used the called for colors with the exception of the red, and I think it was cherry cobbler. Not positive on that one. I can check if anybody really needs to know. But I personalized it with both my initials, and let's see where her initials are over here. The date she started it, the date I finished it year-wise, and then I also put our high school graduation year on, since we became really good friends in high school and had a friendship that lasted many, many years. And perfect, but it's done. So here it is. And if I had to do it all over again, I would do things really differently, but I don't. And you know, at least it's done. I threw it over at the back of my couch for Christmas, and it's not, I mean, the colors obviously they're Christmas tones, but they're not specifically Christmas fabrics. So I think it's something that can be out. And I don't know. The woman talked me into this fabric, which I had used on other things, but I think it's more, I don't know, it's fine. It's all fine. I'm very happy it's done. So that's the main thing. And I guess this is getting to be fairly long, so I think I'll do another video in the next couple of days and show you what I've been working on and what I think is going to happen in 2024. Fingers crossed. So wishing you all the happiest of New Year's, and come back and see. I'm like, what is showing up in the windows? That's the little bedside lamp. I don't know. It's weird. Here. I'm going to switch it off. Oopsie. Oh, then I get the light even more. Well, all right. Oh my goodness. So, I'm sure you've all been fixated on the bedside where my old hairdryer to go up north is sitting, and the lamp that the shade is a little bit askew because knocked it off when I was stripping the bed. So I gotta watch out for those things. Either that or pull the shade, but I think you can still see. Snow it's starting to lighten up. Although I think this is supposed to be the part where we get the most, so who knows. But yeah, please continue to fill the world with love. I hope you enjoyed seeing everything that I finished this year. And looking at it, I had only one professional finish, so that's pretty exciting. I think of all the money I saved that I can buy other things with. So on to 2024, and thanks for watching. Thanks to all the new people, and please continue to fill the world with love. Bye. I'm not done yet. I forgot about Summer Jubilee by Blackbird Design. This I stitched on 36 count, can't remember what, but it's muted, and I think I used mostly the Call for Colors. But as I mentioned before, your best bet is going back to my video probably from close to the summer, and I probably talked about it more when I presented it as a finished item. So, sorry I forgot this one. Bye-bye.